What's good, everybody? It's John. Coming back at you with another video. So this video, I wanted to talk about you, right? Yes, you, right? This video, I wanted to talk about the power that you have and to explain to you why you have a tremendous power. You have access to tremendous power within you. Now, most of you watching this video may feel differently or may feel otherwise because you're probably thinking, if I had access to all of this tremendous power, then my situation would be completely different. I'm here to tell you that you do have the power to change your situation. More importantly, you have the power to create the life and the situation that you want, right? Because the tremendous power that you have within you is the power to create. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but what you need to understand is, first and foremost, right? We came from the creator, right? And just like how you are born from your parents and you typically have similar appearance to your parents, right? You may look like one parent, more like one parent than the other, but generally you inherit their appearance and typically their personality or behavior patterns, right? And their genetics, right? Because you came from your parents, right? Makes sense. Similar to how you were created by the creator, you have some of the creator's gifts within you, which is your power to create. This is why you have an imagination. This is why you can think for yourself, right? And make rational or even at times irrational decisions, right? You were given that gift of creation. It's just most people likely have been oblivious or unaware of their power. And what you need to understand is many people, if not most people on this planet, go their whole lives and live their whole lives completely unaware and oblivious to this power. They will go their whole lives without ever knowing that they've had access to this power, right? This power is the power to create. And you might be thinking, well, how does this relate to me, right? You use this gift of creation in all areas of your life. It is literally as simple as you waking up and deciding what you're gonna wear today, right? You use your thoughts and your imagination to decide on the outfit that you are going to wear, right? You don't, hopefully, right? Most people don't just blindly close their eyes and put their arm in the closet and just grab whatever, right? Usually you put thought into what it is that you're gonna wear, right? So you created the outfit that you were going to wear for the day. The same idea if you're deciding on what you're gonna eat for breakfast. You begin thinking about what it is that you want to eat, either based on the options that are available or based on what it is that you're craving or in the mood for. And then that is what allows you, or that's what you end up deciding on eating, whether you go make the meal yourself or go out and purchase breakfast. You use the power of creation all the time. Just that oftentimes people are very oblivious or are unaware of using that same power to create their own life, right? There's people who can be mad, angry, frustrated, and they wake up and they're always feeling angry. There's some people who may be dealing with, health complications, that they want to have a healthy body, right? For those people who feel as though they're down on their luck or would want change, how different do you think your life would be if you began using that same imagination, right? And began imagining and visualizing yourself being happy, visualizing yourself being at peace, visualizing yourself having a body that's healthy and full of energy. For most people, the answer is no, right? For most people, they don't do that. They rarely do it or haven't done it anytime soon or recently, right? And so that creative power that exists within them, they use it for certain areas of their life, certain aspects of their life, but not other areas. If you visualize yourself happy, smiling, excited, vibrating high, being filled with energy, being optimistic, then that will eventually have to reflect in your face. It'll have to reflect in yourself, right? The same idea with you've been dealing with health complications. Use your imagination to think of the best case scenario of what you want and what you want to experience. Because as you begin thinking about yourself in a healthy body, a body that's filled with energy, right? You begin getting closer to living that and experience that, right? Think about it. Using your imagination, the opposite of that is what creates worry, right? When you use your imagination negatively, that's how you create worry and doubt, right? Because you're thinking about a situation that you don't want to happen, right? And in majority of the cases, when people spend time worrying, they worry about things that are unlikely to happen or won't ever happen. And so they spend all that time worrying, basically experiencing the pain as if that event that they were worried about happened. So they were anxious, concerned, right? Like they were living through the pain of that worry and that event never happened. So they went through pain for no, it was self-inflicted pain for no reason. And you've experienced that yourself, and I've experienced that myself in my life, right? Worrying about things that really wasn't important. Well, in life we shouldn't really ever have to worry, but just in general, it's like people worry about things that never end up happening. So they basically deal with the pain of experiencing it as if it happened, even though it never did, right? So that's using your imagination negatively. It's very few cases where people use it positively, where people start or begin thinking about the best case scenarios for all areas of their life. And it's rather uncommon for that to happen because I feel like that's when people try to tap into the logical side, right? They try to say, oh, well, that can happen because in order for it to happen, there needs to be an explanation for it to happen, right? In this lifetime, there's certain things that can't be explained and won't be explained. But we know this power exists because we've seen or heard stories of miracles. We've either seen it with our own two eyes or also heard miracles of this happening, right? There's been plenty of people who may have experienced an accident and, you know, we're told that they'll never be able to walk by doctors, who doctors are supposed to be the specialists and the experts, right? And these same people did not accept what the doctor had to say, and they spent all the time imagining themselves with a healthy body, being able to walk again and run and feel free. And then fast forward, you know, however many months it'll take, right? That person is walking again, and that person has all of their function working perfectly fine prior to, as well as it was happening prior to the accident, right? This is what I mean with when I say having access to a tremendous power. It's your ability, it's your imagination, but more importantly, it's your ability to create, right? There's, if you're living a life right now that you don't believe is your dream life, then that just means that you need to make adjustments. There's no reason to be angry or beat yourself up or say, I'm mad that I'm in this position and there's no way I have access to this power, because if I did, then I wouldn't create this. I wouldn't create the situation that I'm in. You understand is oftentimes is that you were creating by default, right? You were vibrating whatever energy, which means you're feeling whatever emotion, like you're not in control of your emotion or energy because you're allowing your energy to be thwarted. Whether you might have the routine, the daily routine of watching the news all the time, which we know the news mostly report negative events, drama, problems of the world, right? So that likely saps your energy. You're probably always on social media, which social media skews your perspective of reality and the real world, right? You could probably be spending a lot of time eating junk food, which affects your mood and how you feel. It's called junk food for a reason. Well, some people label it fast food, but fast food is junk food, right? And it's called junk food for a reason because it's not good for you. So that's what affects your energy and affects your mood, right? All of these things play a factor. If you want to take control of your life, if you want to begin living the life that you want to live, you need to first, in order to do that, you need to first begin taking control of your life, which means picking and choosing what you want to allow and accept in your life, right? What you want to feed your mind each and every day. Guarantee you, if you stop by this channel, because on this channel I post videos every day, Monday through Friday, right? If you want to continue feeding your mind the right information to help you become better each and every day to take a step forward, you'll subscribe to this channel and you'll continue watching these videos, right? Because that is the point of this video, to open your eyes, or at the very least plant the seed with a new thought, a new idea for you to begin thinking about, right? To ponder and to ultimately help you become the best version of yourself. With this video, once again, here to tell you and remind you that you have access to a tremendous power within, and that power is the power of creation, and you use it all the time in all areas of your life. You create your outfit, you create what you eat, you create where you go to even get your hair done, or how you customize your body, whether you keep it plain or you get tattoos, right? You create your everything about your life. It's because you created it. And so if right now you're not content with how things are, that's okay. I promise you it's okay. You're in the right spot. You're in the perfect place. Because even if you're in a place that you're not satisfied with, all that means is it's just contrast. It just means that you're experiencing ideally certain things that you may not want, which is still a good thing, because now it helps you get clear on what it is that you do want. So now the goal with your creative powers is to now begin thinking about and focusing on what you do want, right? If you're unhappy with how things are, begin visualizing yourself being happy, being grateful, right? If you're at a job that you're not happy about, that's okay. You can still find a reason to be grateful for that opportunity, because if it's a job that may not be pleasing you, you can still find gratitude in knowing that it's something that keeps you busy and that it helps make ends meet so that you can have food to eat, a place to live, to take care of other people, to travel, right? There's still benefits to it, right? If you're not fond of paying bills, you can still be grateful for the bills, because you can visualize yourself. For some people, when they pay the bills, they'll visualize themselves actually like them paying themselves, right? So they'll have fun with the experience. But also other people fill themselves up with gratitude because when they pay bills, they think about all of the families that are working at these companies, right? Say, for example, if it's you're paying your electricity bill, right? You can find gratitude in knowing that the bill that you're paying for is money that's going to help, going towards the families that work at these facilities, at the electrical company, right? The same idea with internet, right? Your money is going to support the families of the employees that work at this internet company. So you're actually making the world a better place because you're supporting other people, right? You can find, in any situation, you can find something to be grateful of. And once again, in this lifetime, all we're chasing is happiness. We were put here to experience outrage joy, to be happy. That's what we're here to do. So why not use the gift that we were given for creation to create things that make us feel happy? And if we may not be able to create it in this given moment in the physical world, let's do it in our imagination for the time being. Let's just have fun for the time being, right? That is the tremendous power you've always had access to since birth. It's the power to create. And we've used our power in so many other areas, right? For me, myself, for example, it's like I own a pair of glasses. I chose out the pair of glasses that I wanted, right? I used my creative gift to say, hey, these are the ones that I want, rather than me being gifted a pair of glasses by default, right? That's me using my creative power, my gift, to create the life that I want and that I choose. Except when it's time to use a creative gift in other areas and begin thinking about best case scenarios in all areas of our life, oftentimes people don't do that. Oftentimes people fall into the trap of believing their physical reality is a life sentence, that where things are at right now is where things will stand and where things will be, and that couldn't be further from the truth. All it is just temporary. All it is just contrast. Now you know what it is that you want. Now fall in love with the idea of that dream life and how you want to be living. And that should propel you forward. That should get you excited. That should get you going. That should bring back the zest that you probably previously experienced in life that you may have forgotten your ways and now you want that spark in life again, and using that creative power that you've always had within you, you can begin doing that for all other areas of your life. So this is why, regardless of the position that you're in, don't be discouraged, because you have the power to you have the power to create something so much more better. And even if disaster strikes, you can turn that disaster into the greatest triumph of your entire life. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 1 million subscribers, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.